Hey, what's going on? Happy Friday. What a crazy world we live in. It's hard to understand or 100% believe in anything, and as far as our government and all that type of stuff, it's just a crazy time that we live in, and it's little things that that take our minds off of what's going on around the country and what's happening. And maybe you're suffering and maybe you're not, and if you are, man, I hope things get better for you before too much longer. Today's video is about, the KTM 690. I've owned a KTM 690 since 2016. I picked it up as a 2017 model in 2016. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the KTM 690 and what makes it a great bike and what makes it not a great bike. It is not the best bike out there, but maybe if you're thinking about getting a KTM 690, maybe this will help you make up your mind on maybe some of the do's and don'ts for this motorcycle. But, overall, we're going to get into it in just a minute and talk about this bike. So if this is, if you're looking for this type of bike, or if you're interested in a KTM 690, this is probably the video for you. If not, you might want to bail out now. It's not going to be a 5-second video, but it is about a KTM 690 owner, and I've had one and I got thousands of miles. Stick around. We're going to talk about that KTM 690 next.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully this week has been pretty good. Crazy world we live in. KTM 690 Enduro R. We're going to get into a little bit about this bike. I've had it for over 3 years. I've got thousands of miles on it. Fantastic miles. And I have some really not fantastic miles on it. But I'm going to have a little bit all over the board of what's good and what's bad, and I'm going to talk about this bike. If you're really thinking about maybe getting a KTM 690 Enduro R, if you're looking in getting a KTM, now they've changed over the years from 2008 all the way to 2020. But let's just get on. Let's just ride the bike. I own a KTM 690, and I have lots of really cool mods. We're going to drive down to the park, and we're going to kind of get off and talk about it. But the bike itself, it's kind of its own little realm, I mean, you got guys that love them, you got guys that bash them, and I think what it boils down to is that if you don't own one, really you don't have a leg to stand on. You can't go test ride one day, and then biff, bam, boom, your mind's made up, and it's either a great bike or not a great bike. Anyway, I'm Joe, 690ADV. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget that bell, so that you're notified. We have 300 and something videos, from gear to tips to reviews, and just kind of just all around fun. And don't forget, you can always hit me up on 690adv@gmail.com for anything, and I'll help you out. And I got a lot of great rider friends that have been riding, between everybody that I know. I mean, God, we have about 1,000 years of rider experience, and we're looking to change the channel up a little bit to make it more geared towards everybody, new riders, intermediates, and experienced riders, on new things and stuff like that. And we're always open up for ideas. Don't forget about our podcast on Sunday. They're not every Sunday, but we do our best to get those and pop them out. But they're a lot of fun. Check out last week's with Chip Monahan, very good buddy of mine, lives in Nebraska. And, really good stuff. And, I just, I love motorcycles. I really do. And I'm not a KTM fanboy, and I'm not a Honda fanboy because I own a KTM and I own a Honda. I just love motorcycles in general. And I just truly think, you know, we can all benefit if we all pitch in and do a little bit of work. But the KTM 690 Enduro R, if you look at it, it's just, I mean, I don't care what you say. It's really kind of a work of art. It's great, you know, from the 18-inch rear wheel to the, you know, the 20-inch front to the dirt fender, you know, to just the ergonomics in the you know, the ladder frame that they have right there. It's really, truly a great bike. And the thing is, a lot of people mistake that word enduro and think this is a true enduro. And it kind of is, but it's really kind of not. It's really, I like to call it a dual sport on steroids. And you can do so much to these bikes, especially from all the years that this has been around. You can modify these bikes to anything. You can turn them into rally type bikes. Is it a rally bike? Not really. But you can really, from the tanks in the front, there's tanks that go underneath the seat, from the, you know, the tank, the filler neck back here to racks to all that type of stuff. But the cool thing is about the KTM 690 Enduro R is just the sheer look of it. If you look at it, it's it. It fits the part. It is legit. It's the real deal. And if you're thinking about a KTM 690, I've owned one for years. I've got thousands of miles on them. It's really going to be dictated on how this bike is set up by what you do to it that will make it great. The KTM 690 is light for what it is. It is a big bike. If you look at it, it's about 36, 37 inches. I'm almost 6 feet tall. It's a tall bike. You can lower it. Up underneath here, you can put a Kuba link, can drop that bike down, rally pegs for your boots. You can take these off if you want. These are your rear pegs. You don't need those. I use them for tying on, you know, my luggage and all that stuff. Skid plate. This is the anodized aluminum. This is the rally skid plate. It's a little more expensive than your standard skid plates, but it really is fantastic. It does a great job. And everything was set up from KTM North Texas or SLM Racing. Those guys over there, Todd, Burt, everybody, they will really take care of you if you need anything. This is not a promo for them. They just do a great job, and they really do treat you like you're your best friend or your family. But the tank is right here in the subframe, which is really nice. It brings that center weight down, which makes this bike very, very good for off-road. That's what it's designed for. Not only for travel, but for off-road. It's probably maybe the best street and off-road. And I mean off-road, not like gravel, you know, like a BMW 1200 or something. I'm talking real off-road. I've had this bike through all the Colorado Jeep trails, and it just absolutely dominates. It does great. The only bike that may be better than this, something maybe a little lighter, like a KTM 500 or a Honda CRF 450L or something like that. But what they fail on those two bikes is the highway. Steering stabilizer right there, really, really nice. Makes it nice. When we're on the highway and we're punching miles, it's nice. I got cruise control. I've got for my cell phone, all that stuff. The KTM 690, if you're thinking about maybe getting one, what makes this bike great is the tire selection, all the gear that you can put on this bike, from off-road lights to bark busters to everything. It makes it just absolutely fantastic. And not only that, you can just basically, you can travel the world on this bike. It's really, really, really fantastic. So, from the SAE connector to charging the battery to everything. What's going on, guys? From everything, I mean, you can just turn this into a world-traveling bike, which is really, really nice. And you can eliminate things, you can add things to it. It's really, really a great bike. From steering stabilizers, like I said, to off-road lights. You can raise it, you can lower it. From the tires, you can get on-road, you can get off-road, you can modify all that type of stuff. From the exhaust to tail bags to luggage to everything. So the KTM 690, having it for years and thousands of miles of traveling, it's a great bike. Is it the best bike? No. It's not the greatest for punching super, super long miles. That's the only complaint I have about this bike, is that if you have to do 200-mile or 300-mile strips, and here's the deal. I'm an older guy. If you're younger, man, you can eat them up. I get it. But being an older guy, 49, almost 50 years old, I mean, it dawns on me, and it kind of eats me up a little bit when I get around that 200, 250 miles in a day. But it can be done. You can do more than that. Face shields, all the aftermarket parts that you can get. You can truly travel on this bike. That's what makes it so fantastic. And not only that, I know it's a little expensive, but if you shop around, you can find this bike used, and you can get them for such a great deal. So, hey, the KTM 690 Enduro R, the only knock on it is basically long-range miles on it. Other than that, I just don't see anything that's better than this bike for an ADV adventure traveling bike. The KTM 690 Enduro R is fantastic. Plenty of power. It's just a fun bike to ride. It is a little costly, but it is an amazing bike, and you get your money's worth for this bike. So, long story short, KTM 690 Enduro R, yes. Is it an adventure bike? Is it for fantastic? Yes, it is an amazing bike. But I will tell you this. If you are willing to invest your money and take care of this bike will take care of you. I've never had an issue with it. It's fantastic, and it's awesome. Anyway, the KTM 690 Enduro R, it's 100% 690 ADV approved. And not only that, you can do everything on this bike, and it is just fantastic. Hey, if you have any questions or anything, don't forget, down in the comments, you can also hit me up on my email, 690adv@gmail.com, anytime, any day, through whenever. I don't care. I know it's trying times and it's crazy, but this bike will make you forget about it. I can promise you that. Hey, anything you need, 690adv@gmail.com. Don't forget 690adv.com. If you want to sign up and be part of our deal, it'd be awesome. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Also, give us a thumbs up and be part of it. Hey, you know what? You have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Have a great and enjoyable weekend. The 690 Enduro R, think about it if you're thinking about getting a bike. I'm Joe, 690 out.